The World Anvil Front Page serves as the cover and blurb of your world. But what should be included here? What's too much or too little? Today I will show you step by step how I design my front pages and how I implement them on World Anvil. When it comes to content, there are various approaches, from a newspaper layout with articles about the world's recent events, changes you made to an established system's timeline, a brief introduction to your world, or an overview of the key elements. Before starting, it's essential to clarify what you want to present on your front page and what goal you aim to achieve with it. For Evrun, I have decided to go with the key elements on my front page. This includes the genre, the temporal placement compared to our real world, and the two central plot points for the campaign set in this world. In addition, there is the quote, which I want to use as an introduction to set the mood of the world. This step will not be important for you if you are a freeman, since you can only use the vignette. If you have access to the custom parts of the front page, this will be an important decision for you. Where will you place your content? Personally, I like the approach I took with Belarus, where the quote is placed in the vignette. The book covers will appear below that, and my introduction content goes into the custom content area, where it can take up the full width. This step is actually the easiest of them all. Place the content in the right location within the World Anvil backend. For me, the quote will stay within the vignette and my introduction goes into the full width column in the custom content area. For the layout, I chose to keep it simple. 2 rows with 2 columns each. I will also give each content part a wrapping container for styling. This can also be achieved by using allowed containers or any other method that you prefer. If you want to make something bold, italic, or formatted in any other way, you can do so right now. For color highlighting, you can use the Color BB code, which saves you some CSS. Once you are satisfied with your structure, move on. If you haven't inserted any images yet, you can do so at this point. If you don't have any final images yet, it's a good idea to use a placeholder image and replace it later on. I chose the placeholder image option and inserted below the respective headline in my content. This is probably one of the more time-consuming steps. Apply the CSS you have already learned. With the wrapping container you placed around your content, you can style it specifically without affecting your other content by targeting the container as you have learned in the previous videos. Here I'm using mostly things I've shown you in previous videos. I changed font family, font color, background color, and add a border. The only new element I am adding adds some spacing between the letters, and it works like this. Letter spacing 0.125 em. In the back end, I added the categories for which I want to have a book cover. Under Display, I activate the checkbox Display this category on top of the world page using a book style cover image and upload the corresponding image. If you are following along here, make sure that all your cover images have the same aspect ratio. In my case, it's 4:3. My original images are 800 pixels wide and 600 pixels high. Regarding the number of categories you assign with a book cover, it's entirely up to you, but trios work best. I chose categories which are most important for my players, like the Player's Handbook, Atlas, Technologies, the Herbarium, the Bestiary, and the Magic section. Finally, you are going to style the book covers, and we will do that step by step together. First, we need the dimensions for the book cover. By the way, this is one of the few occasions where I resort to absolute pixel sizes. Basically, World Anvil will try to fit your image into the dimensions of the standard book covers. This usually results in only a portion of it being visible. To fix this, you need to change the dimensions of the entire cover by overwriting the standard dimensions. This is done with .usercss.bookcover. The two elements you probably want to overwrite are the width and height attributes. Personally, I leave the width at 300 pixels and only override the height by setting height to 225 pixels. In the same step, I will give the book cover the same border I used for other elements. The next step is the book titles, the labels on the covers. To make sure I'm really specific, I will address them via usercss book title. If you want to be more specific, you can use usercss.bookcover.booktitle. I want to place the title at the very bottom of the cover across the full width with a transparent background. Additionally, I want to center the text, change the font, size, and color it in silver, I think. Firstly, to move the text downwards, you need to reset the positioning of top by using top unset. Then I position it from the bottom by setting bottom to 0. The height depends a little bit on the font, but for my case 2em works pretty well. To make it full width, I use min width 100%. For some reason, width doesn't work as desired here. The text is centered with text align center and the background is set to transparent with background transparent. Font size and color are adjusted as usual using the corresponding variables. If you want to return the text to normal font and not in all caps, don't forget text transform none. Play around with the values until you are happy with the appearance. In the next step, we will add the hover effect. I want to maintain the opacity of the image when hovered and have the background of the link turn gold while the text color changes to black. All elements of the book cover are nested within a link, so we need to address the image when the link is hovered over .usercss.bookcover ahover image. Opacity is addressed via opacity and works again in decimal values with 1 for 100%. So I set the opacity to 1. I set the remaining style for the book title when the link is hovered over, so via user CSS bookcover ahover book title. The background is set via background and the color is as usual set via color. And that's it for today. I hope the tutorial helped you. If it did, I would appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription. Here you will find the playlist with all the English videos I have made. I will see you next week and bye!